Welcome back to No Shot Sports, and today we're talking NFL draft. First off, sorry for no pod last week. I was in Cleveland for the draft. I was working with the NFL. It was pretty sick. And we were just chilling. I mean, I'm sure you guys were watching the draft. I was there.
Yep.
It was dope. But we're gonna hop right into it. We don't got a lot of time today, and we don't want to bore you guys. You guys want to start out with crazy picks, stuff that surprised us?
Well, why don't we what do you want to do? Do we want to talk about our teams first, or do we kind of want to go down 1 to 32 and talk about what picks surprised us?
Um,
I say we talk about our like
we'll start with
we
our
think.
teams. Start with
Yeah.
our teams. Gotcha.
like Justin Fields being a Bear and stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about that first.
That's insanely important because
your two teams traded together.
Yeah.
Giants trade down, Bears trade up. You guys talk about that.
So I'm
so
not
like
gonna
we're going to
lie.
the Super Bowl. So yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't too happy with the trade back at first. Partially a little bit of bias in me kind of wanted Micah Parsons. That's why, just because Penn State and everything. But I didn't watch that much tape on Kadarius Toney, but the next morning I watched some tape. I was totally okay with this. I mean, Dave Gettleman, he had like a rocky first year with the Giants, but last year in the draft but this year off-season free agent signings and NFL draft, he's won me over. He's absolutely won me over.
I'm trying to pull up the full trade details, but I know the Giants got the 20th overall pick, a fifth round pick from the Bears, and next year's first and 2022 fourth, or next year's a 2022 first and a 2022 fourth.
Right. So the Giants now
An extra first from the Bears, who are going to have a top 5 pick next year.
They have, I think. Here's what I'm struggling to do the math, but they have 2 firsts, a second, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. So they've got 7 picks. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
a lot of
they've
picks in
got
there. All of them.
10.
Well, I think
2
the Giants
firsts,
had
a second, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, 5, 6, 7. So they got 10 picks next year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a team that could do some damage this season and potentially has a shot at the NFC East division title.
They definitely do.
Imagine what they could do, what pieces they could pick up next season. I've got to start doing my research, but I've already heard rumors that next year's draft class is supposed to be better than this one.
I'm not positive. It's next year's draft is actually, like, I've heard it was good, but I haven't done much research on it yet. But I was a big fan of the Cowboys draft, as a lot of people were. Like I'm looking at it right now, and this person graded it a B. But I was really big on the Azeez Ojulari move in the second round.
Absolutely.
Super surprised he was still there. But he definitely fits the system. He's a very good player, a very great linebacker, and it fills a hole that the Giants definitely had there.
Right. Danny, I'm just going to repeat what you and I had spoke about right before we started, where I was upset at first with the trade, like I said, because I wanted them to take Parsons. And when they took Ojulari in the second round, I was like, if you were going to take a linebacker anyways, why not take Micah Parsons with your 11th overall pick?
Mm-hmm.
But if they would have taken Ojulari, if they would have taken Parsons with that 11th overall pick and they still wanted to get that wide receiver, and because they wanted Kadarius Toney for a reason, because there were so many people that they could have gone with, and they chose Kadarius Toney. Urban Meyer straight up came out and said that he wanted Kadarius Toney, and then wound up settling for Travis Etienne so that him and Trevor Lawrence have that chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Dave Gettleman absolutely killed it in this year's draft.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the Giants draft as much as other people. But let's talk about the other side of the trade. Matt, how'd you feel about it? Giving up another first round pick to get your hopefully franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears needed to make a move. Like, we need a quarterback other than Andy Dalton. And even if Fields does become a bust, like, it just makes me happy that we made the right pick for once. Like, we took Fields over Mac Jones, which was a smart pick and the right pick. And I think Fields is going to be great. So giving up that first round pick is going to hurt, but getting Justin Fields and solidifying our quarterback need is worth it. And to get it in this insanely stacked quarterback class, like it was a perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we did do it.
Yeah, any of the top 5 quarterbacks are gonna be good, especially like I know I was low on Mac Jones, but the fact that he's a Patriot, he's gonna be good. He's a Patriots
Exactly.
quarterback.
There
but
are as much like as a sports fan, I don't want to see Justin Fields fail, but there's 2 reasons why I do, and I just want to see the Bears absolutely like tank this season, even if it's not on purpose. One,
pick.
he's Ohio State.
Fair enough.
The Penn State rivalry that we've got with Ohio State.
Yeah.
And 2, the worse that the Bears do, the higher the pick the Giants have.
Yeah. I mean, going into the draft, I know in our mock draft video, I definitely said it. Justin Fields was my 3rd ranked. Sorry, I dropped something. Justin Fields was my 3rd ranked quarterback going into the draft. I think he's insanely talented. He definitely has the mindset. But you just got to hope it develops into the next level. And I mean, the Bears trading up for a 1st-round quarterback, when has that ever went wrong?
That was I don't even know what to say about that. That was all Ryan Pace's fault, but he redeemed himself here, so we're good.
But not even their 1st-round pick was good. Their 2nd-round pick, Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins was a guy that I was praying would fall to the Steelers in the 1st round, and you guys got him 39th overall in the 2nd round.
Insane pick.
That's a great pick. That's an amazing pick. I mean, he's more of a pure right tackle. But it doesn't really matter for you guys. You guys need tackles. You guys need both sides of the line.
Yeah.
So it's gonna help. And he's a very good pass protector. He played for Oklahoma State, and he's gonna do mean things in the trenches. Let's just put it that out there. Let's go to my team, the AFC North, my Steelers. Going into the draft, we all know I was very low on taking a running back in the 1st round. I mean, it just doesn't work out typically. I mean, the best running back in the league is a 2nd-round pick, Derrick Henry. I mean, like I'm not big on it, but you know what? If we were gonna take any position that wasn't an offensive tackle in the 1st round, I'm happy it was Najee Harris. He's an absolute animal, and I've watched so much tape on him since we've drafted him. And you know what? I'm all in for it. Like that's my guy now. That I'm gonna have to order a jersey.
I mean, we've seen Derrick Henry come out of Alabama, so imagine what Najee Harris can do.
And Najee Harris is big. He is a big guy. And I mean, I've been reading up on him as a person, not even as a football player, and I love his story. I mean, I read something today that he would go out to the field and his mom would be terrified that he was going to get like shot because it wasn't a good area. And he still put in the work and he made it from dark to light. And it just makes me so happy when I hear stories like that. Like guys just make it out of the worst situations you could think of. But that's not even my favorite pick of the Steelers. In the 6th round, we got Quincy Roche. I'm so happy for this pick, man. Like people wanted Zaven Collins in the 1st round. Luckily, he went to the Cardinals because I would not have been happy with that pick at all. Not that Zaven Collins is a bad player. I just don't think linebacker is a huge need. But I mean, taking a guy like Quincy Roche, who before this college football season started, he had such high hype, and then he fell to the 6th round. Like I don't understand why we took like Buddy Johnson over him. I love his name. Buddy Johnson's a dope name. I don't know much about him as a player, but I do know a lot about Quincy Roche, and the upside is definitely there. I'm big on the Kendrick Green pick too. Kendrick Green's a great center, and he's gonna start day 1. And we took a 250-pound punter, so that makes me happy.
So,
let's look at the draft from top to bottom.
Well, obviously, the first thing that jumps out to a couple of people is excuse me, I don't know if that got picked up on the audio.
Yeah.
But number 3, San Francisco taking Trey Lance. A lot of people thought, including myself, a lot of people thought it was going to be Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm. I'm pulling up the draft right now.
I thought it was going to be Mac Jones as well.
I think everybody thought it was going to be Mac Jones, and I think that was a great smokescreen by the Niners. I mean, what's his name came out? Kyle Shanahan, I believe, and he said they'd be happy with any of the top 5 quarterbacks, whoever they took, they'd be happy with the pick.
Right.
Obviously, besides Justin Fields, because he was never on their eye, which makes no sense to me. But I mean, taking Trey Lance, I think it's a great pick. He has so much high upside, and I'm happy that even though he didn't play any competition, they realized that the arm strength was there, and that like he has such talent to hit the passes. A guy that really surprised me, or a pick that really surprised me, was Jamar Chase at 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't have been as surprising as it was to me, but it was because I thought tackle was pretty clear cut that they should take, and they took the number 1 receiver that played with Joe Burrow. So, I mean, all to it for them.
Well, you got to protect your quarterback. I mean, you drafted him number 1 last year, and like going out with an ACL injury, like in that picture, they like debuted the jerseys. Like Joe Burrow's sitting down, you can see the giant scar on his knee. Just shows like man some blockers, and you go out and take Jamar Chase, which is a dope pick because like they're boys and stuff from college, but like you got to protect your quarterback. That's more important.
Yeah, a lot of people, including myself, thought it was going to be Sewell. I mean, do you think Joe Burrow had any potential say in this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a franchise quarterback.
Considering the fact that it's his guy from LSU.
I mean, he was also the number 1 receiver taken.
That's
and they
true.
Really needed a receiver.
They didn't really need a receiver. I mean, drafted T. Higgins.
Come on, you're gonna say T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd is
they did good last year.
A good enough receiver core. Dude, that receiver core is probably. I mean,
this draft class was stacked with wide receivers. They could have easily taken a decent to a good one, like in the 2nd or 3rd round. I mean, Darnell Mooney, which is like insane on the Bears. I think he would draft in like the 5th, 6th round.
5th round pick. Money Mooney.
Yeah, he's insane. So
Fields to Mooney is going to be a mean connection.
That's going to be insane.
I mean, that Jamar Chase pick had Jalen Waddle go to the Dolphins and Penei Sewell go to the Lions, where the Lions super lucked out getting Sewell.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the potential to be the best tackle in this draft. He's super raw, and that's why I think the Bengals didn't take him. Like, you can't afford to have your tackle be raw and not be great at the start because he's, your quarterback's already had 1 knee injury. You can't have him getting hurt again.
Exactly.
A big surprise to me was J.C. Horn at number 8 to the Panthers. Me and Dan both in the mock draft video had Rashawn Slater going there, and the Chargers super lucked out getting him at 13 because, in my opinion, he's going to be the best day 1 tackle. Maybe not best potential, but best day 1. He's going to come in ready. But J.C. Horn wasn't even the number 1 corner coming into this draft. I had J.C. Horn going super late in our mock draft, or not super late, still 1st round, but still. And not number 8.
I think that's another thing that surprised me with the Giants deciding to trade back was that at that point, you still had Rashawn Slater available. And we all know one of the biggest issues with the Giants is their offensive line. Granted, this is a line that's a little bit on the young side, and they kind of all played together for the first time just last season. Mm-hmm. But my concern, I don't remember off the top of my head which side Slater plays on, but obviously the side that I'm most concerned about is that left side.
Andrew
Thomas didn't have that good of I'd say the first 3 quarters of the season. He did not play that well. He started to pick it up towards the end of the season. I'll give him that. Bro. Am I a little bit nervous for next season? Yeah.
Say
do I have
really
the right to be? Absolutely. But
do I really is? Thomas was ass. Thomas was ass.
Thomas? No, in the beginning of the season he was. Towards the end.
Towards the end he definitely picked it up. But dude,
that's what I'm saying. Towards the end he really picked it up. Do I think that he could potentially, keep that momentum going? Maybe not, because there's been an off season. I don't know. I'm hoping that he can somehow continue it. Hopefully he's reviewing tape to see what he did in week 1 versus in week 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big adjustment for guys, especially linemen, to adjust to the NFL because you're not going up against kids anymore. These are grown men, like 30-year-old men that you have to block on the line, and it's going to be tough. Exactly, it's big boys. And that's a tough thing to adjust to. So, I think a big reason why the Giants didn't take a lineman is their GM did not want to take another bad lineman. I'm not sure if they have the same GM as last year. Do they, Studer?
Yeah, still Dave Gettleman.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was their GM taking the Thomas pick. But, dude, if you miss on 2 offensive tackles year to year, that does not look good for your job. Making a good trade and getting the best slot receiver in the draft, that looks good.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Let's see. Another Micah Parsons. I did not expect him to go at 12. I thought he would drop a lot more.
I mean, he was one of the top linebackers in the.
It's character concerns. It's not really. It's not.
Yeah, the Cowboys like those. What's it called?
The Cowboys like the bad boys.
Yeah, he's badass though.
Parsons. Oh no, he's a great player.
He's a monster, but
he cannot play in coverage, but he's a great player.
Freak. but
it's the character concerns that made him drop. I mean, he was a top 10 talent wise, not obviously not a top 10 pick. I wouldn't have even had him top 16 pick. In my opinion, probably the best trade in the first round of the draft, or the second best trade, because I think the Bears had the best trade getting up to take their franchise quarterback. The Jets getting Elijah Vera Tucker.
I mean, yeah, I actually wanted to talk about the Jets, and this is the perfect transition. Can we talk about how good of a draft they had with their first 4 picks?
Insane. Not even just their first 4 picks. Let me go back to the app that I was using before. But go ahead. You can talk.
I was, before we even talk about Sherwood, in your first 4 picks, one of which you traded up for so that you can take Elijah Vera Tucker, you got your new starting quarterback, you got somebody to protect him, you got somebody for him to throw to, and you got somebody for him to hand the ball off to. So you got Zach Wilson to throw, Elijah Vera Tucker to block. You got Elijah Moore to throw to, and you've got Michael Carter, who's going to be your running back.
Dude, they liked Michael Carter so much they drafted him twice.
Yeah, Michael Carter the second.
That's great.
One that's a running back and one that's a corner.
I like the mentality of Jets came into this draft with. They were like, you know what? We don't need defense. And their first 4 picks were all offensive players. And the rest, yeah, obviously their later picks, 3 5th-round picks and 3 6th-round picks, they were all defensive players.
They said offense and then defense.
I like the I'm gonna butcher this man's name. Their 6th-round picked out of Florida State. Nazir-Dean, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. He had a lot of hype coming into the season, obviously fell off a lot, but he has a lot of he's very good in coverage. Another pick that I thought was great later in the draft, Shaun Wade by the, I believe it was
great pick
by the Ravens.
Ravens took him?
I think so. And I'm pretty sure. But I mean, he's a absolutely amazing slot corner. His draft stock fell off so much because they played him out of the slot, and he's not an outside guy, so he just got cooked like a bunch by like the top receivers in the nation. He just got cooked by him, but that's just not how he plays. I would have loved the Steelers to take him. I don't understand why we didn't draft a corner unless we have something in the works, like we're getting what's his name from the Jets. We were talking about him the other day, Matt. I forget his name. Brian Poole.
Oh.
He's still a free agent. Richard Sherman's still a free agent. I would love both those guys on the team so much.
I actually just recently got a notification saying that he could potentially be going back to San Francisco,
Seattle, and the Saints. Those are the 3 teams that he said he's looking at. He said that in an interview, and I'd like him on the Saints. I mean, if the Steelers aren't contending this year, I feel like him on the Saints would be fun to watch. I mean, their corners are already intolerable in the league. Players hate them, so why not add Richard Sherman?
I hate him.
I know you do. They were making fun of your boy Tariq.
I'll never forget that. The Saints. I hate the Saints more than the Packers.
Hate them. Let's see. Alex Leatherwood in the first round.
That came as a little bit of a shock. I don't think him going to the first round was a shock. I think him going to Vegas was a shock.
I think him going in the first round was a shock, because especially with the other tackles ahead of him.
Tevin Jenkins is better, in my opinion.
Tevin Jenkins is way better.
Oh, he is.
That was who I mocked to the Raiders.
So glad he fell. That was great.
I wish the Steelers took him. I wish the Steelers took Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey gave up 0 sacks in his whole college tenure.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Can we talk about another team really quickly who I think had one of the top drafts?
Of course.
The Chargers.
Chargers did have a great
You got
draft.
Rashawn Slater. You got Asante Samuel Jr., who, if I recall correctly, is a little bit on the smaller side. Josh Palmer and Trey McKitty.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great draft right there. They hit positions that they needed. I mean, Herbert in one season went from a bottom 5 offensive line in the league to a top 10 offensive line in the league. Like, whoever plays fantasy, draft Justin Herbert. He's your quarterback. Please.
Yeah. And Samuel Jr. he's 5'10", 180 pounds.
Yeah, he's not big. I wouldn't mind the Steelers taking him. I'm gonna always go back to the Steelers because I don't think our draft was great. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. If we're gonna be honest.
Well, I'm just gonna talk about another team that I feel like had a pretty decent draft in the Miami Dolphins. You've got Jalen Waddle now for Devontae Smith. Wow. Okay. You got Jalen Waddle now for Tua Tagovailoa to throw to. You got Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland, and Liam Eichenberg. Those are just a couple names right off the bat to talk about.
I love Liam Eichenberg.
Not
even for any specific reason. I just really like Liam Eichenberg.
I'm very, very interested to see how this is gonna work with them. They've got 2 great tight ends now. They still got Mike Gesicki, and they've got now Hunter Long.
I mean, a lot of teams run 2 tight end sets. I really like the Javon Holland picks and the Jalen Phillips pick. Jalen Phillips, I'm sure you remember in my mock, I had him as the first defensive end taken, or that first edge taken.
Right.
In my opinion, he was the best edge in the nation. I really like the Javon Holland pick. He could turn out to be better than Trayvon Moehrig. I don't think I said his name right. Whatever.
Trayvon Moehrig.
It's not Moehrig. It's like
he went to the Raiders, right?
Yeah, he went to the Raiders. I like that pick too.
That was a very.
It's like Trayvon Moehrig or something like that. I don't know, but I think Javon Holland does have the potential to be better if he's played as a safety. And Liam Eichenberg is a very good tackle. I don't think he's a great run blocker, but he's a great pass blocker. Draft I want to talk about was the Jags because they had a pretty interesting draft in my opinion.
Yeah,
agreed.
They nailed Trevor. That was obvious.
I mean, yeah, the Travis Etienne pick was suspect to me
because they have literally like James Robinson. Did they forget about their near like Pro Bowl running back? Like,
let's be honest. Out of every rookie running back last year, he had the best year.
Yeah, and they just went and just
took another one. It doesn't make sense.
I know he's boys with Trevor, but like
they could have gotten him in the second round.
Yeah, they could have gotten him in the second round, and they just missed talent.
I like the Walker Little pick.
I was about to say that. I really like the Walker Little pick. I like the J2 Fele pick too. J2 Fele is a great defensive tackle. And I feel it's a future pick. I don't know if he's gonna play, if he's gonna start the season. I think he'll get some extended run. No, not extended run. He's gonna get some. He'll be like a plug and play. Like they're gonna plug him in every once in a while.
Luke Farrell could wind up being a really good pick for them as well. Who they got with the first pick in the 5th round.
Yes, I think any receiver going to Trevor Lawrence could be a good pick. And he's a tight end, but still.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Another pick that just made sense was Rashad Bateman going to Baltimore. They got what they really needed.
Yeah, they had a great draft. They got Odafe Owe late in the 1st. He's a great player. They got Ben Cleveland, who's a great guard. They got Shaun Wade, like we said. They unfortunately had a great draft. And going from one AFC North team to another, who in my opinion had the absolute best draft out of every team, is the Cleveland Browns.
I just pulled them up because I was just about to say that. I mean, look at those first 2 picks. You got Greg Newsome and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Greg Newsome fits their team the best out of every corner in this draft. Greg Newsome fits their team. I was at a Cavs game when I went, and Greg Newsome was there. And
was he actually?
Yeah, even as a Steelers fan, it was pretty dope.
Did you see him?
I did see him. They put him on the Jumbotron. And they were like, "Welcome to Cleveland." And then I was like looking around in the boxes, and I saw him. He was like straight in front of me.
That's awesome.
It was pretty dope. They got JOK in the 2nd round, who should have easily been a 1st-round pick. Like me and Dan were talking about earlier, we think he dropped in similar reasons why Isaiah Simmons dropped. They don't have a straight up position. Like they can play linebacker, they can play safety, but
and even if it's just not that, they're all, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I was talking about with my friends here at school. There could have been something, just about JOK in general that we didn't know, but these NFL owners and GMs and head coaches do, which is a reason why maybe some were hesitant to take him, and that's why he wound up falling to 52.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
but I feel like this was an absolute W of a pick for Cleveland.
Just talent-wise, it's a great pick. It's a 1st-round talent guy, and you got him 52nd overall. I mean, when they passed him up in the 1st round, I was so happy that Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah didn't go to the Browns. And then in the 2nd round, I was like, well, damn, now Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah went to the Browns.
Yeah.
Cleveland went 11-5 last season. I could easily see them going
13 wins. I can see them going 13-4 this year.
I was
Baker's hot.
just about to say that 13-4.
Like it's terrifying that 2 years ago they were the worst team in the division, and now they could definitely be the best.
Yeah, they had Notre Dame quarterback Deshaun Kaiser leading them to an 0-16 season.
Yeah, and now they have Baker Mayfield, who is mark my words, he's gonna have a top 5 quarterback season this year. Maybe not an MVP year, maybe not offensive player of the year kind of year, but he's gonna
like a great season.
Great season. He's gonna definitely take a jump. Let's see. Who's another guy we should talk about before we I don't know if we'll wrap it up or we'll talk about something else. Peyton Turner was a weird pick to me. I just didn't see his name going into the draft. I definitely didn't see it in the first round. I just thought it was odd.
You know who I didn't see going in the first round?
Who?
Look, 2 picks after that.
Greg Newsome.
Rousseau.
Greg Newsome. Greg Rousseau. Yeah.
I could have seen him going early second. So to see him late first was a little surprising.
I could see him going. I thought he was going to go like mid second. It was a reach of a pick. Like even draft analysis said, yeah, this is a reach of a pick. I'm not a big fan. Joe Tryon, I think that's a decent pick at the end of the first. But the Bucks could have taken anybody. Nobody in their first round is going to start for them.
Right. And speaking of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how about their pick in the what was it? It was the second round? Yeah, when they took Kyle Trask.
Dude, my dad wanted Trask as like on the Steelers, and I was like, dude, he's not good, and now he's backing up Tom Brady, and he's gonna turn out to be like the best player in the draft.
So can you imagine if the 2 best quarterbacks from this draft wind up being Mac Jones and Kyle Trask, because Kyle Trask has Tom Brady as a mentor and Mac Jones has Bill Belichick?
Dude, I hope Mac Jones is good. I really do. Like,
I hope so. I hope just in general, but I also hope for the Gumps, man.
For the Gumps.
I think Mac Jones will be good.
Shout out the Gumps, man.
Shout out the Gumps. We love the Gumps.
Did we say it at the beginning of the podcast? I don't know.
We did. Yeah. And I made sure
out.
It was funny. I made sure to shout out like Vinny and Cruz and Blake and Brad and Kevin. I didn't even shout out my own sister. That was kind of funny.
Damn. I don't know if we said it at the beginning of the podcast, but shout out Tay Gowan, man. He follows me on Twitter. 6th round pick for the Cardinals. He's I'm a big fan of him, and now he follows me on Twitter. I hope I get an interview with you. Big fan.
Come on the No Shot Sports podcast.
Come on. I'm telling you, my dog is very loud right now. But
another thing I need to say, Bears undrafted.
Our boy,
the GOAT, Charles Snowden, who's gonna be insane in the NFL.
Our boy.
From our Madden franchise.
Exactly.
Defensive Player of the Year, future Hall of Famer.
Like 15 sacks in a season.
Like he went off, and now he's going to the Bears, and I am. It's crazy. Just like Danny wanted him on the Steelers like last season. We didn't even know if he was going to be in the draft, and now that he's in the draft, and he's on like my favorite team. It's awesome.
Yeah,
that's just a fan favorite.
Another reason that the Bears are my second favorite team, man. But a little backstory: me and Matt always playing like 2K leagues, Madden leagues, stuff like that, just like for fun. And one of them I drafted Charles Snowden in like the 6th round, and he turned out to be insane on the edge, like 15 sacks in a season, defensive player of the year type beat. And I DM'd him, and I was like, bro, you're going off in my Madden league. And then he liked it, and I was like, oh, let's go. And then I DM'd him again, or no, I commented on one of his posts. I was like, can't wait to see you in a Steelers uniform. And he liked that again, and I was like, let's go. He's gonna sign. And then he went to Chicago. I was like, well, there goes that pipe dream.
Another guy in the franchise, Monty Rice, who was like kind of a beast. I think he got drafted by the Titans, so congrats to him. I think he went in like the 4th or 5th round. The 3rd round, actually. Ooh. Monster for my team in Madden. So,
dude, just shout out.
Yeah, he went in the 3rd round to Tennessee.
Yeah, Monty Rice, what a goat!
Shout out all the undrafted free agents that got signed. Like you
guys, all the guys that are on my Madden team that are now in the NFL.
Shout out to the 3 guys from Penn State that got taken at 247, 248, and 249.
That's pretty dope.
That is pretty dope.
That's pretty dope.
I was very upset that Shaka Toney. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 246, 247, and 248. I was very upset that Shaka Toney is now on the Washington football team, and the Giants have to go up against him 2 times a year.
I really like their draft too, Washington. Jamin Davis in the 1st. It seemed like a reach at the time, but he just fits so well, and they really needed a linebacker. Great pick. De'Ami Brown in the third out of North Carolina. He is like a do-it-all receiver, and I like him.
I mean, it's okay in my opinion.
Shaka Tony out of Penn State.
Mel Kiper gave him a B. I'd agree with that. It was a decent draft.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything great, but it was, they got what they needed.
Yeah, it could definitely turn out to be special though. The Lions had a good draft. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth.
I think they got him in the third, actually.
Nah, fourth. 112 overall. 112 overall. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think that's insane value for him.
Did you see how happy somebody from their front office, I forget if it was the GM or the owner, but he got so happy when they got Penei Sewell at 7.
Yeah, I saw him cheering. And
probably their coach. He's a nut. I remember the interview. I forget what he said, but he said some like crazy stuff. He was like, "You gotta like bite someone's head off, then bite it again." I don't know who that was. Was that him?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
Neal was also a good pick in the third round, and then I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, but also in the third round with the 38th pick, the cornerback from Syracuse. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name because I don't want to disrespect him like that.
What team took him?
Detroit.
I was just on them and going back. I've been moving around. I don't want to like hold up the whole pod by slowing it down and looking at every team. But Detroit, second round. Levi owns third round?
Third round, 38 pick, 101 overall. Cornerback from Syracuse.
Melifonwu. I don't know how to say his first name.
Melifonwu. Maybe that's what it is.
You guys want to do hot takes? Like super quick, wrap it up.
Sure. Just one each.
No.
Might not be a hot take.
However many you want. Just anything hot takes draft related.
Okay. Next year, I think the Lions will have the number 1 pick, and the Texans will follow them at number 2.
Okay. I could see that, especially.
I don't know about third.
But 1 and 2 will be Lions, Texans?
Yeah, or the other way around, because in my opinion, they're the two like worst teams in the NFL right now.
All right. Besides the top 5 quarterbacks taken, who do you think will be the best quarterback in this draft?
Kyle Trask.
Dan, who you say?
Ian Book.
I saw this really cool thing.
We didn't talk about him. I feel like New Orleans might have reached a little bit for him.
Definitely. Where'd he go?
4th, 5th.
He went to the Saints, and I think.
What college?
Oh, Notre Dame.
Yeah, I saw this thing where Drew Brees is doing play-by-play for Notre Dame this season, and Ian Book got drafted to the Saints. So they basically just like switch positions.
Yeah, Cruz.
Cool.
If Cruz, if you're out there, you find yourself listening to this. I know you're not too happy about the pick because if I recall correctly, you don't like Notre Dame. But I'm telling you, Ian Book, he can really throw the ball. He's gonna do pretty well with the Saints.
You're hearing it first from me. Kellen Mond is gonna go down as the 3rd best quarterback in this draft.
Vikings, right?
Vikings.
My friend
3rd best overall. Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is gonna be number 1. Justin Fields 2. Kellen Mond is gonna be 3.
Ooh.
Another hot take. Mac Jones is starting over Cam Newton by week 9.
Week 9.
I think before that. And if they're not winning before that,
I mean, what do you think? Maybe 6, 5?
If they start out, I don't know when their bye week is, but if they start out, say they start out like 2-4, he's starting. 2-4 or worse, he's starting.
Yeah.
If they're winning, Cam Newton's gonna keep starting.
So wait, you said 2-4, right? If they're 2-4, so 6, so he'd be starting week 7. So what? I said what? 2 weeks later.
I don't know.
A big difference. So
dude, that 2 weeks. Hey, that's a lot for his development.
It is.
I guess that's true.
Kyle Pitts is gonna be the best player in the draft.
He's a monster.
Talent-wise, he's gonna be the best tight end in the league for years to come. After Kelsey retires, or after Kelsey gets hurt.
Freiermuth is gonna be better than him.
God, I hope so.
I disagree.
Nah, that's definitely the bias in me.
I love Freiermuth though. I've watched.
He's baby Gronk.
He had in his whole time at Penn State, he never dropped a pass in the red zone.
Yeah, never.
Not once.
That is baby Gronk material.
Exactly, and I'm not mad with the pick, especially with Ebron Stonehands.
Yeah, that they definitely needed to replace Ebron.
Let's see. Michael
What about
Carter's going to be the
Fields?
best running back.
What do you think? When do you think Fields is gonna?
Over your new running back, you think him over Harris or even ETN at that point?
I think ETN's not even going to be top 5.
I can see him being better than ETN, but I don't see him being better than Najee.
I hope Najee's going to be the best, but that would be bias. That would be the bias in me talking.
That might be the bias in me too. But I mean, come on, it's Najee Harris. We've seen this man hurdle over people before.
He's great. He's absolutely amazing, and I so much hope he's the best. But I think Michael Carter's going to be better. Matt, what'd you say?
I was saying, Justin Fields. I wonder when he's gonna step into play.
Week 1.
No, I don't think so. I think we have to ease him in. We can't just throw him in there week 1.
I don't know. I think you have a 3-game quarterback competition, and you take a look at them in
I say Andy starts, and then maybe by week 3 or 4, maybe 5, then throw Fields in there.
I don't know. It
depends if we're winning games or not.
Chicago Bears. Don't forget that.
I know, but we can't just rush Fields in there and just I don't know if he'll be ready.
If Cam Newton's the starting quarterback all season, the Patriots are gonna win. Patriots are gonna get the bye in the AFC, the first seed bye.
No,
I can't predict the playoffs, but they're gonna get the 4 seed bye. They have the best coach in the league.
You say that if Cam Newton starts all 17 games, they've got the top seed in the AFC.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They don't. No, they don't even have the top seed in their own division. Buffalo takes it.
Buffalo takes that.
Buffalo's a great team.
Crazy start last year. Then
honestly, I feel like it's going to be between New York and New England for 3 and 4. I feel like Buffalo is 1 and Miami's going to be 2.
I don't think I think Tua needs more time.
Tua has talent, but
he's talent. He just needs more poise.
He's got Waddle.
I mean, look at the people that he's got to throw to. Now he's got Waddle.
Waddle's a rookie.
All right, fine. He's got
good rookie.
True, and Long is a rookie as well. Okay, that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't I love Waddle. In my opinion, he's the best receiver in the draft. I've been very vocal about this.
I feel like
he's still a rookie. Same thing with Jamar Chase. He's still a rookie. You don't know how they're gonna go over to the league.
I feel like the Giants and the Dolphins are in a very similar boat where you could see them in a championship, not the Super Bowl, but the conference championship games. In the 2020s.
What teams did you say?
Both the Giants and the Dolphins.
I can't see the Giants. I can't.
Really?
I can't. Just seeing the Giants win, I just can't.
I can't see the Giants being good for another
until they take
3-4 years.
They take a new quarterback.
I don't see Danny Dimes just succeeding anytime soon. I'm sorry.
I see him at best
very mediocre.
At best, a Ryan Fitzpatrick type career, which is still a great career. But he's now
that he's, Slayton, I feel like never got enough attempts. Engram could barely catch the ball.
But we can't put it.
Receiver was Shepard.
He had put it on receiver core though.
Too, but he's now gonna have Kadarius Toney. He's gonna have, I don't know why I'm blanking on the wide receiver from Minnesota tight end from Minnesota that they just signed.
You guys want to hear some crazy Daniel Jones stats?
Okay, wait, hold on. I've got a feeling that I know what you're going to talk about because my sister sent me something.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I hate sometimes the definition of an interception.
I'm not going to talk. I mean, I was going to talk about his interceptions super fast.
Okay, because I just want to say probably a third of his interceptions came from Evan Engram not being able to know how to catch the ball, and he bats it into the air, and then somebody comes up right behind him and takes it from him.
How do you think I feel? I'm a Steelers fan. Big Ben had 11 picks last year, and at least 7 of them were on the receiver.
I feel your pain.
But, all right, so Daniel Jones has started 26 games in his career. He has 35 touchdowns, 22 interceptions, and here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen, once I can find the exact number, but I'm pretty confident that I already know it. But I don't want to get it wrong, so let me find it. 29 fumbles.
Ooh.
In 26 career starts, he has 29 fumbles.
No, I'll completely agree with you. That's been the biggest issue. That has been the biggest issue ever since his first snap as a New York Giant.
He's not a bad passer. He has no pocket presence.
And sometimes he'll try to run the ball, and I commend him for that. But sometimes it'll be like it'll be a simple tackle and he'll lose the ball.
Yeah, he's he can't feel pressure in the pocket, and he hasn't shown any progression to do so. I like Daniel Jones as a player, I guess, but I just don't think he's good.
I'm not that big of a fan, to be honest. All the Giants fans like praise him and stuff for like, but what has he done? Like, what has Daniel Jones done for the New York Giants? Like,
Sam Darnold is better.
Sam Darnold is a lot better than Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones has proved nothing so far.
At least
I mean,
Sam
I'm
Darnold
no one to
has
say
good
because like
highlights.
the Bears don't have anyone. Like, I mean, we have Fields, the GOAT, and he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. But knock on wood, I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm gonna jinx myself, but
He's gonna be Mitch Trubisky 2.0.
I hope not. But Daniel Jones has nothing right now to prove that he's a good quarterback.
I hope, like going back on it, I hope Fields doesn't start week 1 because they really messed up Trubisky by just kind of throwing him to the wolves. They kind of they need to figure out what he's doing, like his strengths and weaknesses and everything like that before they give him a start. Cool.
I'm sorry. I had something important came up. What's up?
I hope Fields doesn't start week 1, basically, because they messed up.
I mean,
Trubisky
I
that way.
hope he. Sorry about that. Sorry about that pause, but nah. Fields week 1, I do not want him to start. We can't just rush him in there. Matt Nagy's like an aggressive coach. I don't know. I don't want him like freaking Fields out. Like they have a good connection, but like I don't want him like go in there week 1. I don't know who we play and just get roughed up and then get all frustrated. Like that's the worst case scenario.
Another low-key good pick was the Seahawks with Dwayne Eskridge in the 2nd round.
I don't know who that is, but
A receiver, great receiver.
Seahawks took another receiver?
Yeah. I mean, besides Lockett and DK, who do they have?
Good point. They don't even have a tight end because Olsen retired. So who do they have there?
Facts. And they didn't take one. And
Hollister
their
maybe
3
still?
draft picks that they had.
Hit 3 draft picks, the Seahawks?
Yep. Eskridge, Trey Brown, and Stone Forsythe. Receiver, corner, and tackle.
Danny, there's one thing that I want to bring up really quickly. I heard this stat a while ago, so I don't exactly remember what it was. But Daniel Jones, in his first 2 seasons, which he's played in a total of 27 games, starting 26 of those, he's got 22 interceptions. Peyton Manning had 28 in his rookie season.
Yes.
And look at what Peyton Manning became.
He also didn't have 29 fumbles, though.
That's true. But look at these these guys that that Gettleman just provided Jones with. I don't see him having a bad season, and if he does, then maybe it is time to move on from Daniel Jones in New York.
It's a make or break season for him. I think that's pretty clear.
3 is like a magic number, I feel like, when it comes to rebuilds, and that's exactly what the Giants were in. And if they fail in this 3rd season with Daniel Jones, maybe it's time to
pack it up.
Look for what's happening and what quarterbacks are going to be available in the next upcoming draft.
Yeah, and I think the Broncos realized that with Drew Lock when they traded for Teddy. Teddy Bridgewater is not a good quarterback, but he is better than Drew Lock. And they have a team where they have a defense at least where they could they can put some wins together and maybe make a run.
I think I'm a huge fan of Drew Lock, dude. He's an animal. He's a freak.
I like him as a person. He's just not good. He's not a good quarterback.
I mean, he's better than Teddy. Come on, dude. I love Drew Lock. He's hype.
Yeah, he's hype, but he's not a good quarterback.
Yeah,
what does he do
young. I give him another year.
What does he do better than Teddy though?
Dance.
You got me there. I mean, I haven't seen Teddy as a dancer, real talk. Put him in the club together.
Teddy has the moves.
I guess we'll see. Yeah, maybe Teddy has the moves. Maybe Teddy is ready. I'm sorry about that. That was terrible.
All right. Well, on that note, you're fired.
Let's wrap it up. I think we're just we're pushing. We're trying to reach for stuff.
Overall, though, great draft.
So much fun. So much fun of a draft. I went to the NFL Hall of Fame on my way home.
That's
So
dope.
if you guys are ever in the Canton area, check it out. It's pretty sick.
That's dope.
Let's see. Yeah, nothing else. Next week we'll definitely have a pod out. Maybe we'll play. If there's no news, maybe we'll play a game. I have something in mind.
Ooh, NBA or NFL?
NFL. It could be either one.
NBA playoffs start soon, right?
Like 2 weeks to the play-in, I think.
Oh, the play-in.
NHL season is winding down too. I know that the Rangers play their final game on Saturday.
Ooh.
I just got my new Mika Zibanejad jersey in the mail today.
Okay. I ordered a box of Select Football, a little blaster box that are like $20 at the store, but I paid $100 for it because card resale is insane.
True.
So that'll be at my house Monday. If I pull anything good, I'll show you guys.
Very nice, very nice.
But I think that's it for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, please give us 5 stars on if you're listening on an audio platform, or give us a like and a comment. Maybe subscribe on YouTube. We really appreciate you guys. All that stuff is free. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good day.
You're
Peace.